In a tournament blessed with big moments, late drama and surprise results, nothing made headlines quite like the current world champions losing their opening game here in Cancun at the 2025 World Championships. That was the case for Oman, who tonight face another side making headlines in this year's edition of the soccer's most elite competition. It's a game of enormous magnitude. Oman need to win to keep their hopes of retaining the world title alive. For Canada, the dream is simple: win, and for the first time in their history, they will reach the knockout stages of a world championship. Up next, it's the anthems. I'm Rob Burke, alongside me is Frankie Rudland. We can't wait to bring you this one. We've seen a genuinely spectacular night of soccer action here in Cancun. And if we've learned one thing, is that you can never quite predict what this wonderful sport is going to produce. That being said, Frankie, what can we expect from this one?
I just knew that was a build-up to put me on the spot. I think we can expect goals. The message would have been from the Omani camp that we actually played okay against Bulgaria, and they did. They stroked the ball around really nicely. They were just a little bit toothless. They never really threatened Bulgaria's goal too much, and they'll be looking to make amends for that here tonight. For Canada, well, they put 10, brackets 10, past Haiti, which is quite incredible. And we saw a really refreshed group with some young, energetic talent in there, real technical quality, mixed with experienced older heads. So we know that they've got goals in the locker. And that being said, I've probably cursed a lot, and it'll be our first 0-0 of the tournament.
Well, we haven't quite, as you say, had a 0-0 game yet. Only 3 games before today had finished 1-0 so far. And well, Oman lost their opening game 1-0. So it was Canada who brought the goals. But if Oman are going to progress, they're going to have to score at least 1. They need to win this game. Canada, their first tournament was back in 2018. This is their 5th, but perhaps their best opportunity to progress into the knockout stages of the World Championships. They've played 16 games in major competitions in soccer. They've won 5, drew 1, and lost 10. But with the players they have at their disposal now, that record will change, and change rather quickly in favour of the Canadians, you'd imagine. They've got a sizable support over on the far side. This perhaps their biggest game they've ever faced. Oman, well, they've certainly been involved in big games in recent times. This, though, a high-pressure moment for them. Who will rise above it? We're about to find out. We've seen some awesome soccer so far this evening. It's been a genuine pleasure to bring it. This, the final piece. And if it's half of what we've seen so far, we are in for a treat. Canada with an early spell of possession then. They couldn't stop scoring in their opening game against Haiti. They did, in fact, go behind in that game. Quickly found themselves heavily in front.
And there were several standout performances, weren't there? Nites Fight, one of them. It's a really energetic player, keen eye for goal. And even the experienced Ivkovic netting himself a hat-trick.
Indeed, 2 hat-trick heroes in their opening game for Canada. And should they progress and should they go a long way into this competition, they'll become soccer heroes for Canada, I'm sure. On the turn then, in the middle of the park, Jouali opts for the safer of the 2 options. Test fight. Just moving the ball that little bit quicker, Canada. This will be a test, and they've won it back high in opposition territory. But a slip there means that Jouali will lose out. Jouali, an experienced player in the 11-a-side format of the game. Played in England, actually, for both Edgware and Kingsbury. The temperature just a little bit warmer out here in Cancun, though, and the pitch certainly that little bit smaller. Here come Oman then through their captain. Al-Balushi just gets things rolling the other way. Al-Rawahi to his captain. Left-footed effort from Al-Balushi, a World Cup winner. Sanchez looking to release his captain down this left wing, looking for options in the middle. Cut out nicely, and that's more like the Oman side we know. Solid in defence. Lovely 1-2 in the centre circle for the Canadians. They're looking dangerous here. Here's the captain. And just an early tester for the goalkeeper to deal with. Nikolic, though, or should I say, Al-Riccardi, equal to it. A cagey opening 3 minutes, I think it's safe to say, Frankie.
And Oman started slightly cagey, didn't they, against Bulgaria? It took them 5 minutes or so to hit their stride and start knocking it around. There've been a couple of loose balls so far, and that's one of them.
They've won it back again, Canada. A chance for them to go forward. Well, that was neither a shot or a cross. Zivkovic was in and around it, never really had a chance of getting on the end of it. But they've started brightly, Canada. And you are tuning in from Canada. Far better time to tune in. A 7 p.m. game. That one's slightly wayward. We didn't see quite enough in the attacking third from Oman in the opening game. Something certainly needed to change between then and now.
We didn't, and
well, they've won it back. That's a mistake, an early goal. There's the change. And that is the moment that give the world champions the lead for the first time in the competition. We said that we needed to see more in front of goal. Well, inside the opening 10 minutes, we've seen exactly that. A mistake from the keeper, and they've pounced upon it.
Just as I was about to say how much Oman were missing Wasim Al-Shamsi.
Canada looking to answer almost immediately. You mentioned there that Oman were missing a few key players. Their main goal scorer being one of them.
And of course the MVP of the World Cup last year in Oman. But though he might not be with them at the moment, Yazid Al-Rawahi was certainly on hand to tuck that into the bottom corner. Costly error and one gobbled up by Oman.
So then, Canada find themselves behind, but they've been in this position in this tournament already, and they went on to score 10 goals. Although this is dangerous from Oman, far more lively, much more like the side we've come to know in recent years. Nikolic then, as Canada look to build from the back, but that's cut out. And one thing we haven't really questioned is that Oman are solid at the back. Far more solid than the Haitian side the Canadians faced in their opening game. These two sides have met before. Oman beat Canada 3-1 in the group stage at last year's World Cup. The Canadians can take comfort in knowing they have scored against Oman before, and they'll need to do so to get themselves back into this game. A win puts Canada through. Not sure, really, which team has more pressure on them to get a result, Frankie.
I think there's a huge amount for both sides. Oman, of course, is the reigning champions. Many would have been so disappointed by how blunt they were in that first match, but as you mentioned, Canada on the verge of making history for their country in soccer.
And coming forward again is Oman. Out wide it goes, and just unable to steer it on target. Al-Siabi. Early chances for Oman, though we've seen far more than we did in the first game. And that one just got underneath it. Andrijanic, skilled player, played in the German 3rd division, in fact. That one, though, not one of his best.
The initial touch was nice to set himself on the spin, but as you say, I think he just got the angles wrong, got underneath it.
Al-Balushi looking for that cutting ball forward, finds it. Patient build-up. Al-Arami back to his captain once more, plays the 1-2. It's a good bit of movement from the Omani side, but an opportunity here for Canada. White jerseys flooding forward. A combination of defenders, though, and Oman are going back the other way. A second here would be huge. The ball not quite accurate enough. The cut back was the right idea, and they've managed to retain possession. Far more fluid, Oman, in this second game.
Much more incisive as well. I felt they were a little bit pedestrian in that first match. They passed the ball around well, but with no real end to it. But they're quicker, they're slicker. They're looking to get behind straight away in these attacks.
The press is far more effective, and they're quick in the transition as well. A trait that has more recently been associated with Oman. They're tight at the back. They don't score buckets of goals, but they score important ones. That's a lovely bit of skill, not once, but not twice. And on the first time of asking, Canada have drawn level. Ali Manovic, he beat one, then he beat the second. The question was that, did he have the finish? The answer, absolutely.
What a stunning goal that is. We've seen some peaches tonight, and that's up there. Skips past one, goes past another, and then hammers it.
He's won it back here, higher up the field, and if that had snuck in, what a turnaround. I've mentioned already, Canada went behind in their opening game. 10 goals quickly followed, 2 hat-trick heroes. And all of a sudden, the Canadian fans in the stand opposite me are on their feet. Al-Balushi, lovely from him. Al-Arami with ball at feet and options ahead of him. Lays it off, that's a good tackle though. Really good foot in for Hitimana.
They're fans of that top right-hand corner, aren't they, Canada? Umar with a beauty in their match against Haiti, and another stunner that nestles right into the stanchion.
Ali Manovic, another former professional player in the Canadian ranks, playing in the Swedish second division. 2 major championships under his belt. What an impact he made. Speaking of impact, Ouama is on the field. Another man who certainly knows how to find the top bins.
Well, if you haven't watched the highlights between Canada and Haiti, they're well worth tuning into for that man's goal alone. You could not have placed it better if you tried.
Again, a good interception. Ouama looking to bring his side forward. A solid 50-50 in the middle of the park. Both sides are up for this one. It's been an awesome, awesome day of soccer. And this one, living up to the billing. Building from the back again, a strong header away from the Omani captain, Ouama. Almost just looking to shove one up there and asking the question of Andrijanic, what can you do with that one? Just a little bit too much on it though. Oman wasting no time. Al-Wahibi. Al-Balushi often picking up the quarterback role. Picked out a decent pass, outnumbered on the left-hand side though. Chance to run with the ball, that's a heavy touch. Good defending again from Hitimana. Plenty of pressure. Anything they do, any reason the crowd can find to get behind their team, they take it. This though would knock the stuffing out of Canada. Still the danger there. Oman now probing on the edge of the area. That's a misplaced pass, and Umar will charge on forward for Canada. An opportunity to take the lead, but the pass just isn't quite there.
Just slipped right in the middle of both his options.
Well, really, you'd want Umar on the end of the pass rather than the man making it. He scored 2 versus Haiti. He was the top scorer for Canada at the Copa America earlier this year. Certainly knows where the back of the net is. 14 minutes gone. It's all square. Two teams with a very different approach to how they attack. Oman happy to slowly build it up and burst into life, but Canada have won it back here, and this is how they like to attack, and this time it was Umar at the back stick, but Balbanotti went alone. And you can't really blame him after his finish in the previous game. Balbanotti again chests it down wonderfully well, and his right-footed effort is over the bar, but it will be a corner ball. It was Balbanotti who, in my opinion, registered the skill of the tournament in the opening game. If you haven't seen that one, absolutely visit the Soccer Canada Instagram and watch that one back. Truly special. And just to top it off, he got an assist at the end of it as well.
Well, I called that the assist of the tournament so far, and I still stand by that. Lovely piece of skill.
Here he is again, this time though, the control left wanting, and Oman have bodies forward. That's a wonderful touch. Well, wonderful first touch, the second, not quite good enough. This game though being played at a mighty high intensity. It isn't cold this evening, but the temperature has certainly dropped. And if you do have a high pressure game on the schedule, this is when you would want to play it. When the temperature cools ever so slightly, the humidity drops. Of course, the Omani side far more familiar with high temperatures. Umar though, charging through, and Balbanotti with a back heel. Did it cross the line? That's the question being asked. Balbanotti believes it did. What a finish that would have been. The dynamic duo combining well for Canada. They're screaming for it to be checked.
I'll have to wait for the benefit of the replay, but from where I was sitting, it looked as if it had crossed.
Well, you heard it here first. Frankie believed it crossed the line. Well, we mentioned that Canada, in our opinion, already possess the assist of the tournament. If that was given, it would be the goal of the tournament, but it doesn't look like it crossed the line. And Canada are denied the goal that would have given them the lead, although
I think we are still checking.
It is still being checked.
If it didn't, it must have been mightily close.
Well, there isn't goal line technology in this competition, but there is the RVAS. Play on. All square it remains. And that set piece wasted. And with 3 minutes to go, that goal would have been huge. Key word, would have. In fact, that's 2 words. You can tell I'm excited. Both sides, though, pretty happy with how they've started the game, you'd imagine. It's a strong old bench for Canada. Former professionals all over the park. They do it right. Canada train hard, prep hard, and they play hard as well. That's a good tackle from Jouali. We're up against a side here who in recent times have been the best of the best. You cannot underestimate Oman. They've delivered some of the very, very special moments in recent soccer history. In 2023, they were ranked 25th. 2024, 31st. 2025, they are the 7th best soccer team in the world. And of course, the current world champions. Work to do, though, if they are going to progress in this year's edition. Canada look well up for it. Oman looking to jump on forward. Nikolic, though, happy to collect. That's it. I was about to say a lovely switch, intercepted though by the red jerseys of Oman, and there were bodies at the back stick. Here is the captain, Uamar, looking for that near post. Big save. Al-Riccardi equal to it. End-to-end stuff then to close out this opening half. It's all square as it stands. A goal now would be huge. Deflected away. Corner ball. Uamar in the way. Dinked forward. Heavy touch, so opportunity then for Hitimana to bring it away. Uamar has his captain, but work to do. Beautiful footwork from him. Did well, actually, to dig a ball out and win his side of corner. The clock is in the red. There's never a bad time to score, but there certainly is good times to score. And now would be a good time to score. Juali drills one into the ground, and it bounces on through. Well, this match being played at such high intensity, there'll be a few looking at the clock. Half-time isn't far away. They'll leave everything out there. Al-Wahibi, one back in the middle of the park once again. That's a delightful ball. Difficult finish, the angle was closing. And there is the half-time whistle then. This game, perhaps the biggest of the evening, with so much on the line. It's Oman 1, Canada 1. Frankie, we expected it to be tight. That's exactly what we've got, but some big, big moments in there.
Some huge moments in there. And look, two quality teams, and they're producing a really high quality game of soccer at the minute. Mightily impressed with the quality that Canada have added to their squad from the last World Cup. They've got some really exciting players in there, and one of them, Balbanotti, I was convinced from up here that his flick had crossed the line. So was he. I think so was the entirety of Canada. It was checked, it didn't, but there's been some big chances. Umar drawing a good save soon after that, and you feel that though Oman can stroke it round again, they're facing the same problem. Their goal came from a mistake, whereas Canada are creating. And at the minute, on the balance of play, if I were to pick any of the two sides as a winner, I would have to side with Canada, because they look a constant threat coming forward. Umar, Zivkovic, Tesfaye, Balbanotti, all of them look capable of producing some magic. And I'm just not sure Oman have that in their ranks at the moment. They've got Mahmoud Al-Balushi, who was brilliant in Oman last year, but he's yet to hit his stride. And it feels like the game is slowly weighting towards Canada.
Indeed, well, we mentioned it already. It's a very impressive Canadian side that has arrived at this tournament. The coaches, the players, everybody involved. They've taken it very seriously, acted professionally, delivered some unbelievable moments. Work to do, of course, but just to see where they've come in the last few years, outstanding. the most recent tournament, the Copa America in Brazil. They made it to the quarterfinals. It was a 5-5 draw with Peru. Arguably the best game of the tournament, but they were beaten 3-2 on penalties. And really, if they can follow what Oman have done over the last few years, they'll be mightily happy, rising up the rankings. They've risen the joint highest number of places, Oman. Of course, last year's World Championship hosts. They emerged on the right side of a penalty shootout.
And they also won every single group match. So they haven't been able to repeat this time around.
They've not quite had it all of their own way. Vast improvements from Oman in the first half. 20 minutes of soccer action to go.
Of course, as well, it's always such a big test for a nation. When they do host a tournament, there is that natural boost. They've got the crowd behind them. Everyone in the stadium was there for Oman, and it felt like it carried them through.
Well, here in Cancun, it is certainly the Canadians that have the majority of the supporters here in the stands. Donning miniature Canadian flags, covered in signatures, by the way. And if I'm honest, I did sign one of them myself. Here we go then, back underway. The biggest half of soccer action that the tournament has seen so far. Oman need to win to keep all of their hopes of retaining their title alive. If Canada win, they are through. Al-Balushi then, constantly with his head up, directing, orchestrating, pulling the strings. And speaking of pulling, looked to be a little pull on the shirt there from Juali on Al-Balushi. Play continues though. Here's Sanchez. Long ball to his captain. Couldn't quite bring it under control. And this time it's Oman who win it in the middle of the park and create a chance. Calls for handball, seen by the referee and waved away. The ball is still alive. Edge of the area, right-footed effort, it's high and wide. Was that the moment? Al-Araimi, a World Cup winner. Very few players you'd want it to fall to more. And he just couldn't quite guide it on target.
Golden opportunity for Oman, who didn't have many sights in that first half. Good work from Al-Balushi, who I asked for more from. And he did the right thing, did Al-Araimi. Opened up his body and just tried to guide it into that opposite corner. Just a tad too much.
That's a good ball. Al-Araimi looking for support, and it goes all the way through. And there was nobody there. Nikolic goes long, too long. But really, from his expression, he just didn't have enough options. Well, the Canadian dam holding strong in these opening few minutes. Oman doing their utmost to break through. Al-Balushi, a lively first half from him. Likewise, Al-Wahibi. That's a lovely touch, kept in as well. To the byline it goes, left-footed effort. A combination of Canadian defenders all over the place. And that crosses the line. Oman take the lead. It was Pinball Wizard in the area, and it fell to a red jersey. And in the end, this time, they make no mistake. The world champions are back in the lead.
Tough one. for Canada to stomach, as you'll just see on the replay. Pings off about 3 different players and the goalkeeper before squirming across the line.
They'll be delighted with that and far more comfortable. We mentioned the pressure that they're under. They need a result or they're going home. Back in the driver's seat. Well, Rawawi got the goal. Although there probably are a few Canadian defenders who got a touch on it that won't want it awarded to them. Work to do though for the Canadians. As I said in their previous meeting, Oman were victorious, 3-1. A scoreline that of course is still possible in this game. Canadians though won't want that. And there is a decent bit of pressure and they've committed bodies forward. Important to get that right. Al-Rikadi, which he does. Al-Wahibi. Al-Arami. And via his captain all the way back to the keeper. This Canadian side are at their best when they're winning it high up the field, creating opportunities from there.
Well, this is it. They just need to close the distances. In the last 5 or so minutes, they've reverted to going long from the goalkeeper, and it hasn't worked at all.
Sanchez, left-footed, goes for goal. And it was across the face of goal. And Al-Rikadi didn't look like he stressed, but I imagine his heart skipped a beat. Score remains 2-1, 26 minutes gone, just under 15 then. And tonight has certainly shown us that it's never too late. That's a decent bit of skill though. And the referee's whistle has gone. It's gone in favour of Canada. And Mo Hassar will have the opportunity to get his side going in the right direction. Well, it was a 34-hour flight for Canada to last year's World Cup in Oman. This year, it was just the 4 hours, and their energy level suggests that it made a difference. Right-footed effort saved. Nikolic called into action a few times in the second half now. He's done well there. Al-Wahibi to guide that on target. Never really troubling Nikolic, but still, it's another one for the stats, and that looked to be handball. Spotted by the team of referees. They'll know the magnitude of this one.
Not quite hit the stride so far, Canada, have they? As I said, they reverted to long ball, and they had Zivkovic up top, who's a real technical operator, but not a target man.
Al-Siabi. Just let it get away from him. Opportunity here for Canada to break. There's a player down off the ball, and it will be a yellow card. And discipline crucial in a game like this. A year ago, it was Zivkovic sent off after 18 minutes against Oman. This time around, 28 minutes on the clock. And it's Oman who are down to 5.
Well, they argue, but it was really cynical, wasn't it? He knew exactly what he was doing. Clutching onto Tesfaye as he looked to charge forward on the counter. He's not accepting it, but he'll have to.
Well, Alarami will have to sit the next 2 minutes of the game on the sideline. If you're new to soccer, yellow cards are sin bins. And this, perhaps Canada's best opportunity of the game to get themselves back in it. Balbinotti shapes up to shoot, but there's a sea of red in front. Sanchez does shoot left-footed, and it's wide of the far post. Mo Hassar wasting no time to get the ball back in play. Balbinotti again to Sanchez, winding one up, elects to pass this time. In the end, it's a 1-2. Balbinotti, he'll certainly fancy his chances. Looking for a yard of space, and it's Balbinotti, they're level. He's the man they turn to. Well, Ali Manovic might have got the last touch.
He didn't know much about it, but I think it hit his chest on the way through.
Well, that's 2 for the number 8. And talk about impact off the bench. We'll see it here, Balbanotti's left-footed effort straight into drill city of Ali Manovic, and somehow he's guided it on target and past Al Riccardi. Well, over in Canada, they call them power plays, and they've absolutely taken advantage of the man advantage. We're all square once more, and in the spirit of the soccer we've seen this evening, this is a thriller. White jerseys flood forward, opportunity for Canada, but the shot was lackluster, and Oman will go back the other way. We're in for a grandstand finish to this game. 10 minutes on the clock, and Nikolic will dive upon it. It's really getting the juices flowing, this one.
It is, and they'll be disappointed they didn't make more of that break, Canada.
Balbinotti on the turn, he's the danger man. And every day of the week and twice on Sunday, that's a free kick. Huge appeals again. Well, just out of shot. Canada have slotted it through. That won't count.
Just circling back to the 3-on-1 they had moments ago. Mo Hassar it was, with a really heavy ball that will be disappointed with. He had options left and right. Tesfaye wasn't a bad option, it wasn't a bad play, but just to put too much juice on it and took him away from goal.
Well, Canada will want to get the job done here. If they win, they're through. Up next, it's Bulgaria. This, perhaps, their best opportunity to reach the knockout stages. And that was not a million miles away. Tesfaye, already a hat-trick hero for Canada. 3 of the very best against Haiti. Funny enough, he scored the first and the 10th goal. What they'd give to score 10 tonight. Balbinotti to the man on a brace. Not this time. Al-Balushi, that one nearly wormed its way all the way through. Just over 7 minutes left. The momentum in the game constantly shifting back and forth. Well, Nikolic ran it close there.
To say he committed to that would be an understatement.
Absolute commitment. And you'd imagine there'd be a slight check there because it was borderline edge of the area. I'm pretty sure.
He was like Superman there, wasn't he, Nikolic?
Indeed, he Superman punched it. And if you were of a Canadian persuasion, take a deep breath, because it was deemed to be inside his area, and those are the fine margins that determine games at this level. A draw, of course, does suit Canada far more. Six minutes remain then. Oman, of course, needing to win to keep their dreams alive. For Canada, as nice as a win would be, should they draw, they would be through. Of course, with their performances so far, they'll have aspirations of topping the group, which will, of course, guarantee them an easier run as the competition continues. Second in this group, of course, will likely face Poland. And if you are new to soccer competition, that is not a draw you want to face. And regardless of how good you are, it probably won't end well. Oman on the attack, and Nikolic just sparing the corner. Is there a twist in the tail? Is there a winner? Balbanotti is the man you want on the ball. Uama back on the field now. Left-footed effort blocked. Well, Hitimana put in a real shift today defensively. He's got a shot on him as well. That'll be a kick in for Canada. The coaching staff will be delighted with how their side have performed. They've really worked hard to get this team into this position. Stanislav Jasic, the head coach. Dmitry Akimov, the manager. Out of play then. Just under 4 minutes to go. Nikolic through the middle, and Balbanotti uncharacteristically with a heavy offload. Albatashi just gets his side going the wrong way. A slip there as well from Al-Wahibi. Cries of "Let's go Canada" from the stands. They want to see a winner. As I said, a draw is enough for Canada to progress. But it's a difficult road. If they can score a winner here, it would be massive. And that deemed to be a fair challenge. Oman go the other way. How important might that prove to be? Mo Hassar. Balbanotti going the other way into the arms of the keeper. End to end now to finish. On the edge of the area, Al-Wahibi. A goal for either side, tournament defining. Uama doing his best, still in possession though, Oman. And in the end, too much from Al-Wahibi. He got a goal against the USA at the World Cup last year. Canada on the attack, this star man dispossessed. Work to do defensively for Canada. Charging through as a man, they've got the winner. The world champions for the third time take the lead. And surely, just surely, they've done enough relief in their celebrations. They absolutely had to win. And when they needed a hero, Al-Siabi said, leave it to me.
Well, once Al-Siabi started that run, he just didn't stop. The middle of the pitch opened up for him. It was like the Red Sea's parting. And all of a sudden, he found himself with chance to shoot. It's a toe-poked effort, but he won't care because it finds its way through the legs of Nikolic. And a crucial, crucial goal for Oman. As you said, tournament-defining.
Tournament-defining indeed. 1 minute remains for Canada to find a goal. Once again, to draw them level. A loss won't be enough. Bulgaria up next all of a sudden. It doesn't look good for Canada. They've played really well, but the experience that Oman have shone through there. It's a much improved performance from Oman, a performance they can be proud of. And that left-footed effort from Hitimana, just wide. And that really shakes things up then in Group C, Frankie. As it stands, Bulgaria are on 6. Canada would stay on 3. Oman would move to 3. And up next for Oman, it's Haiti. Up next, as I say, for Canada, it's Bulgaria. Grim reading, if you are of a Canadian persuasion.
Grim reading indeed. Been really impressed with Bulgaria. Of course, they were victorious over Oman. And indeed the Haitians as well. So much quality in that squad, and it will not be an easy match for Canada.
This is what they call, over the pond, a Hail Mary. The goalkeeper's off.
Just how quickly the pendulum can swing as well in a group.
The goalkeeper is off. Every player on the field is technically an outfield player. And that is not what you want to see. A top performance from Oman. It was going to take something special. Canada were living on cloud 9 after their performance in the opening game. 10 goals to the good. Now they only need 1, but defending is not what they want to be doing. Here's the captain, and it wasn't far away from sealing the deal for Oman. We really are in last chance saloon. One last roll of the dice. Heavy for Canada. Oman going the other way. Opportunity to put a nail in the coffin, which they do. 4-2 to Oman. Game, set, match. A valiant effort from a much improved Canadian side. They'll be back. But for now, it's Oman who just keep things alive in Group C. And that concludes a quite magnificent evening of soccer action. Frankie, what do you think?
I need a sleep. This is absolutely taking the wind out of me. It's been phenomenal from start to finish. Every game offering goals, drama. And with the next one, you think, well, surely the next game can't live up to the last. And it just continues to deliver. Match day 4 has been brilliant evening of soccer. Perhaps not from a Canada persuasion, because they pushed, they tried, they went for broke at the end. And they were caught out. El Wahabi putting the gloss on it for Oman. They were much improved tonight. They showed much more attacking endeavour. They were quicker when they looked to go forward. And ultimately it's paid off with a really important 4-2 victory for them. For Canada, it's still in their hands to a certain extent. They need to go out there and put on a good showing against Bulgaria and hope and pray that Haiti can keep Oman at bay, or at least enough at bay so they don't rattle in a similar number of goals against them. a tough night for Canada. At one point during the match, it looked as if they would progress. They were the side who looked the most lively, and Omanis just couldn't get going. But they did this last year in Muscat. They grew into games, they kept going, and they were never necessarily rampant, but they found a way through, and they found a way to edge those close moments, and they've done it tonight.
And find a way they did. By no means is it over for either of these two sides. Group C becoming, as it has been, the one to watch in this year's edition of the Soccer World Championships. As I said, we're going to have a deep breath and a water, I think. What an evening of soccer. Tomorrow we go again. Kazakhstan against Uruguay kicks things off bright and early. We'll see you then. Thank you very much for joining us. I've been Rob Burke, alongside me, Frankie Rudland. It's been a pleasure. Good night.